Leave a like and subscribe. Reminder. Let's check out the next one. Just like even that shot of her in the window, like watching them walk on, these two kids, and she's just like separate from them, just like watching them, wind blowing in her hair, like no need to move, no need to like talk and learn, and you know, just that image. Oh yeah, we saw her braid like in the flowers in the ED. I noticed that this time. I still don't know who the hell she is. A year after that. Or 6 months. Guy. Weed? Was she gonna go to a brothel?
Oh. Just something that's like really obscure and completely useless. We're poor. She keeps accepting knowledge of flowers as payment. Oh, she's gonna buy her that hair clip. She's wearing the same outfit for 3,000 years. I'm surprised she suddenly cares. This is the... I literally haven't thought about anything like this in years and years. Look at that little cat. Can we keep it?
Is it bad luck?
No, it's good luck. It's cute.
Was she drooling?
She's sweating. I wonder if it's her birthday or like the anniversary of when she became her apprentice.
Frieren doesn't strike me as the kind of person who remembers stuff like that. They're actually just earnest. They just have this creepy laugh. But they're just normal dudes.
You didn't do any of the shopping. Well, come on then. I'm acting natural. Aren't I acting so natural? Oh, how about this place? That's really nice. She got like the sour grape spell that she would have used to make him extra sour grapes. It's really sad. I knew it. It is her birthday.
フリーレン様は本当に人の感情が分かっていませんね。
Nice. Very nice.
そろそろ出ようか。はい。この旅って何か目的はあるんですか？特にないよ。魔法収集の趣味の旅だからね。でもできる限りはヒンメルたちとの冒険の痕跡をたどっていきたいかな。風化する前にね。大切なことなのでございますね。わからない。だから知ろうと思っている。しかしついに背も抜かされちゃったか。もう16ですからね。お姉さんです。お姉さん。食べているものはほとんど同じはずなんだけどな。不思議だ。
Some training.
Training time.
もうだいぶ慣れてきたね。じゃあ応用といこう。防御の隙を狙って。どう対処するか。耐えられる。
Jesus.
That tree.
ここまでだね。
I like that bridge.
エルン、渡した魔法師の本読んでないでしょ。魔法は実践だけが大事なわけじゃないんだよ。やっぱり寝る前に読み聞かせてあげないと。自分で読みます。子供じゃないんだから。
I suppose I'll have to read that to you at bedtime, like I've done for years. Oh wait, yeah, I guess you are a teenager now.
ここが目的の村
I
です。
can't tell the difference.
ちょっと聞きたいことがあるんだけど。
エルだ。白髪。もしやフリーレン様ですかな。
クバール。
腐敗の剣道クバー
Oh.
ル。80年前にこの地で悪逆の限りを尽くした魔
Damn.
族です。様ご一行が封印してくださったのです。
ないうちに解けるから討伐したいので。
Shit.
At least she kept track of it.
このことは誰？
ヒンメル様が毎年のように村に訪れておりました。封印の様子を確認するためだそう。
変わらずのお人よしだ。
フリーレン様のこともお話ししておりました。来ない白状者だと。冷たいよね。冷たいね。でも封印が解ける頃にはやってくる。
I love this show's portrayal of old people when they're just like, oh yeah, remember that? Like, quite the troublesome one, isn't she? Like, just so cute. Jesus.
だいぶ不安定になっているね。明日にでも封印を解いて
He's there internally screaming like, fuck, they noticed. Shit.
I thought I was gonna be able to get out of here.
封印したのですよね。そうしたのには何か理由があるの。単純にクバールが強かったからだよ。魔法使いだ。ゾルトラーク。
Oh, it's like an atomic level blade of made of magic.
Wow.
I guess that's why they were learning the barrier magic, the defensive spells at the start.
Yeah, there's this thing. I literally couldn't defeat it before. I'm gonna let it out right now in front of you.
She's had a lot of time to study his crazy spells, so. Is it gonna talk?
久しいよ、
It's not a long time for a seal.
私たちにとってはね、殺した。
そうか。敵討ちといこうかの。
フェルン、前方に防御魔法。
それとら驚いた。ゾルトラークを防ぐとは。高度な防御術式じゃの。
どういうことですか？今のは一般攻撃魔法です。あれがゾルトラーク。
It wasn't. That's
奴
just
が開発したいわゆる
Oh.
she's just knows
人
it.
を殺す魔法だよ。
She's been studying it. She knows it. She was training her on like the craziest fucking spell.
お前の魔法は強すぎたんだ。
And now it's outdated. It's been studied. Oh my god. It's not just her, it's common knowledge now. It's so common knowledge that she was doing it when they met.
強力な防御魔法が開発され装備による魔法耐性も
Does he even need to get sealed anymore?
殺す魔法ではなくなった一般攻撃魔法と呼ばれているよ
That's crazy.
人間にとって相当長い時間だし
That's what you were saying.
おとなしくしていれば楽に殺してやる
I love that. It fits so perfectly with the story. That time just keeps moving on.
攻撃魔法に威力を分散させる
Oh, but now he's developed
複雑な術式
even further.
魔力の消費もさ
Oh.
Oh, but he thinks he can just.
魔法の弱
Well,
対処できるよね
Ooh.
じゃあ私の分も
The impact frame of just the shockwave. Oh, she needs to use the Sharingan and predict the placement, not to draw herself, spread herself too thin. She's doing the seal.
she's just gonna kill him
Omoshiroi.
with his own spell.
Oh. What is beneath there?
That's what I'm wondering.
Are they on a floating island? Or is it a cliff, probably?
Damn.
They're on a cliff.
I really like that.
Love that. It fits so well with everything you're talking about, like time moving on and patience and learning and how elves don't have computers and how people like develop things. It's literally like they thought of it too. Whoever made the story is so smart.
これですか
Oh, this pirate gave it to
この
me.
地方は強いので農業のお供ですよ
名前あるんだよね
Hmm?
Is he like a little kid?
お前私のスカートめくった草ガキだな
殺しはまずいぞ私の見せてあげますから
まだ生きてたんだ
おかげでもっと長生きできそう言葉を信じて待った甲斐がありました
Just flips her skirt again.
Yeah. I just imagine like one of the younger girls in the village just being like, he still does it! That demon lord wasn't the only problem in this town. What, did he die?
I think they just have those by the road.
Oh, that same hat?
Yeah, I guess. But like all that stuff was already there before.
I like that detail as well, that there are just these little shrines to people who probably died on the road over, like, it just shows, it's like the whole theme of like, you know, time moving on and stuff like that. It's all, the fact that they work it in to that level where whenever they're traveling, it's not like, they do the same thing in Elden Ring and in Dark Souls, like Elden Ring specifically, it's kind of done a little bit too much. Is one of my complaints with Elden Ring is just like, but it's with the theme, so you know you can't really complain about it, I guess. But it's like in Elden Ring, there's graves everywhere. There are tombs and graves. The whole land. It's like there's no farms. It's all graves, and I like it in this even more because the world in this is alive, and it's showing that it's alive. and it's showing sort of a mature way of looking at life, and that's reflected in the world, that life includes death. And you see it everywhere. If you look, like when they were training, it was just like next to this house that looked like their house, that looked like Fern and Heiter's house.
Yeah.
But it was just collapsed in the middle of this woods. It was the exact same situation. And it just shows like a family probably lived here. A guy probably was like a lumberjack out here or something. And time moves on, and everywhere they go, there's like graves or shrines on the side of the road where somebody on the voyage probably just like got sick and died and was buried on the side of the road. It's just a common thing, and it's constantly reflected. We've seen like many of these little things here.
I couldn't tell if that was like a grave or like some kind of marker or like I don't know if they have like I guess they have a god in this world, like some sort of. Yeah, I guess I couldn't.
Well, the fact they're leaving like food and then the hat. I thought that was him, like that they were saying like, oh, I got to live a little bit longer.
And he just instantly died.
And then he died. and this is like his little memento, but probably not. He said everybody has these hats, so somebody from the village died around here or something, or was, attacked by a bear maybe and just died, and then they like along the road or some shit. Possibly. Maybe it means something else that we'll learn, so maybe I'm going on a rant for no reason, but it's still with the house that they were going to that they were training at here. It's just like they show us this thing. It's like this crumbled wall. It's like some dad 100 years ago probably built this fucking wall. It might not have been. It might have been like 100 years ago or less, maybe even.
Yeah.
Now the house is all rotted. Nobody lives here. Same with the bridge. It's like I feel like it's kind of implicit in all fantasy stories like this. But you said like, oh, I love this bridge. It's like the bridge is all mossy and kind of fallen apart in places, and at one point and there's stairs here.
It's like a brand new bridge.
A whole village a couple hundred years ago probably propped up around here, or this was like a very, like this was like maybe a place where people lived like along the riverside or something. You know what I mean? Like there's so much like implicit memory in the world, and I think it's usually just an aesthetic thing in fantasy of like, oh, the world's ancient and it holds so many mysteries, and all these things have a story. But like in here, I feel like there really could be a story to all these things. You know what I mean? I don't know. I like it.
Yeah, I do. It also kind of fits in with like the whole theme of the, like, oh, this is like after the adventure. Because when I see stuff like a broken down house, like a long old thing, I think of stuff like, Promised Neverlanding ending, where it's like the place is all overgrown, and like the Attack on Titan ending, and like stuff like that. Like
4.
It's like the ending of shows that is showing like, oh, in 100 years, this place that you're enjoying right now will look like this.
Yeah, it's all
and
covered
like
in
this
moss
is kind of the same thing as that, how she like goes to the like Himmel's statue and it's all covered in stuff because no one is taking care of it anymore, but she's still around, so she still is. So she's like going back to these places that like meant something.
Yeah,
to
the fact
her.
that she said that too, it's like before, because eventually, like she's I like it. I like the way she said that when they were talking on the road near the start of the episode, because she was like, I want to keep going and where I can try and retrace the memories that I had with them before there's nothing left to inspire that, like before I forget, because before the world forgets, because everything crumbles, everything rots away, and that's just how it is.
The thing with her finding new spells, it's like in these spells she makes new memories with the people that teach them to her, and she also like finds glimpses of the people that she used to know, like with making sour grapes and stuff. It seems like this is a completely useless spell. No one would ever want this spell except for her. Every time she does the spell, or just now that she found this spell, she thinks back to her old friend who would have loved this. And it's the same with the flowers. It's like, she doesn't need to keep finding all these flowers. The guy's dead. Why not just plant these other flowers that are kind of similar next to his statue? He'll never know the difference. And
but
then,
it matters.
And then in 100 years, no one else will have ever known anything different. But she knows, so she can do it right, or like honor this person's memory by doing this thing.
I love it. It's great. And this episode I feel like did a lot to
Yeah, I love that they brought back this guy, and it was like, this guy, he's so powerful, except he literally was, like, at this point, technology, basically, and, like, magic just advanced to the point that, like,
it's like this guy invented the flintlock pistol, and in its time, it was, like, the most, like, he and his soldiers wrought fury across the land, and nobody knew how to defend against it. We had imperfect defenses. We just couldn't beat it. And then they took what he made, this flintlock pistol, and how can we improve it? How about we make a magazine and a cartridge instead of packing the powder every time?
Let's just
we
make,
pack it
like,
into a thing and then load
glass.
that in. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's just like, oh, well, if we make bullets that are this strong, how will we defend that? Yeah, bulletproof glass.
And the thing is that they didn't even, like, take the spell and make it more powerful. They just took the spell and made it broadly available and made, like, a defense against it, essentially. It's like, okay, well, this isn't going to be a problem anymore because we're going to make sure that everyone is equipped to handle it.
Yeah.
So now it's completely fine. And I love that, like, I really love that because she's like, oh yeah, she, like, it kind of gets, like, hyped up of, like, oh yeah, this guy, he was so powerful, I couldn't defeat him at all. And I feel like that is also, she talks about, it was humans that did that, not her, because to her, she could just keep coming back and, freezing him every 80 years. It wouldn't make any difference. It would just be a slight detour for her from wherever she was.
But the fact that humans won't be around and that their kids might not be strong enough too, like, we need to learn now how to deal with all this and, like, prepare for the next generation. Mm-hmm. And that fear of death is, like, it also brings comfort, and that's kind of a theme with Heiter as well. Like, this fear of death is, like, so overwhelming, so he did everything he could to try and stave it off in the ways that he could in passing on his memory and believing in the next generation, et cetera, et cetera. If he didn't fear death, he never would have had these relationships. And, Frieren having to sort of reverse engineer that is super interesting. And I also love the fact that this is kind of like this guy is kind of like a more parallel with her in a weird way. It's like it's almost like her a shadow or like an echo of her, where this could have been her if she wasn't trying to pursue this, like, zest for life or, like, learn or experience things, if she wasn't trying to evolve and become better or just live, if she was behaving like she describes herself previously, this apathetic person who didn't give a shit about anything, who didn't need to give a shit about anything, she would have stopped at Zoltrok and not learned the barrier magic and not, investigate and been going around learning new things. Mm-hmm. So it's this, like, she has trouble learning the lesson, but she's trying and she's continuing to move forward.
Yeah.
And she respects humanity and their drive to evolve. And I love that I brought it up, like, right before this episode, and then they did exactly what I was saying.
Mm-hmm. What I kind of feel like with this show is it almost, like, certain elements of it kind of remind me of Konosuba in a weird way, even though it's like,
it's the same aesthetic. It's
also just the way that it kind of has. It's like, oh yeah, this guy is so badass, and then it's like very anticlimactic. But in this, it's not really in a funny way.
It's in a kind of beautiful way.
Yeah, it's like in like a comforting and, like, interesting way. It's like they could just be like, it reminds me of, like, in Konosuba when they'll be like, oh, there was this, like, crazy powerful guy, and then blah, 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 and, like, he has, like, this entire backstory, and then it's, like, and he's been sealed away for 100 years, and then they, like, go there, and it's, like, not actually a problem, and he's actually, like, weak now.
Yeah.
Like, similar to this, but just the way that it's handled in this, I feel like works really good, because you don't need, like, the jokiness of it to make it good, I guess.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I was saying after episode 1, of the fear of it becoming just a vehicle for another formulaic modern fantasy story with, like, JRPG elements. Like, Konosuba, the reason why I have my problems with Konosuba, but the reason why I still like it and respect it as a series is because it makes fun of all those things. It doesn't try to be anything else, it's still an isekai fantasy thing, but it does, the whole point of the setup is to make fun of it. It wouldn't be a funny show if it were like a unique fantasy story, if it wasn't based on all the tropes of a modern isekai or of a modern fantasy story, then it wouldn't be funny, because all of those things are there, all of these similar elements of, all the things I described after episode 1, like the red tiled roofs in a circular capital fantasy city, the demon king, all of his disciples, the powerful ancient magic, and the whatever undead and all this shit. If that wasn't there, Konosuba wouldn't work. In the same way, this seems to be going I'm happy to say, a better direction than I feared, where it's doing the same thing, where it wouldn't be as good of a show if it was a unique fantasy. It's showing that it needs the commentary and the evolution. You're taking this thing and you're evolving it in a way similar to how is done with it, in the story with how it views life. It wouldn't be as good of a show if it wasn't operating on all these elements, because the whole point is that it's familiar. The whole point is that we know kind of what to expect, and then it shows a different interpretation of that vision of that world. So, it's still, there's still a long term to be seen, where will it doesn't have the sense to end up on the right note, or will it continue past its commentary and its introspection into the medium and its challenging of the form and its new take on the whole idea, or stop where it's supposed to be, or will it complete what it's trying to say and then keep going afterwards? So far, I think it's heading in a good direction. In that lower period, that first period where it does something interesting, I think that it's actually using the tropes well and doing a good thing. Mm-hmm. And we saw at the beginning with the whole birthday thing. It's she is learning.
Yeah, and I like that as well. When she said she's oh, you're whatever, Fern appreciated her learning about her, and she said, well, I'm only learning about you because I'm trying. And it's well, that's the point.
Yeah.
If you don't try to learn something about people, you're not going to, regardless of whether you're immortal or not.
Yeah.
And you can say that you didn't know these people that well, but I think she knows people better than she thinks she does.
Yeah.
Because she has this detachment and this issue where everything's kind of far away from her, but she if she really didn't know a lot about someone, then she wouldn't still care about them 50, 60, 70 years later.
Yeah.
You have to know something about someone to be able to remember them by, just in general. And I also, damn it, I had something good to say. At least I thought I did. Oh, I like, again, how she's teaching Fern with the whole Fern's oh, we're spending so much time on defensive magic, and thinking about it it's kind of a bad thing of oh, we're spending so much time to do this thing, and then it's well, have you looked at the history book? No, I haven't. Okay, whatever. Okay, have you looked at the book yet? I'm telling you these things, do you know what it is? And that's the thing, it's the thing that she's taking for granted of this defensive magic didn't exist before, and she 80 years ago it literally didn't exist, and the spells that she is getting bored with defending against because it's so repetitive was the ultimate thing that would kill you instantly, and she just didn't have the appreciation to be able to see oh, this not even that long ago in the grand scheme of things, this was a major problem. It's like anything in normal society or whatever. It's oh, well, now we can do medical stuff. It's oh, you're allergic to this. We have this magic antidote that will stop your allergic reaction and stop your throat from closing. Well, 100 years ago, that wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
You would just die. Same with any type of vaccine or any type of anything, even just washing your hands before you perform surgery. It's all these things that seem oh, yes, this is common sense, was a complete mystery.
It's built
a few
on
hundred years ago.
It's built on thousands, perhaps millions of corpses. What took to get just something that we see as just normal. And it's interesting because we talked an episode or two ago about like, or I guess last episode about how Frieren is kind of, or I guess this is episode 1, about how she sort of represents young people in a way where she thinks that she, like how we think that we can live forever when we're young. And we take things for granted. And then part of maturing is like learning to experience things as you go along and not take things for granted. That's a big deal. And it's interesting, it's reflected as well in Fern, and just like the way that they both inform both sides of this dichotomy between like living in the moment, experiencing life for yourself, and like, you know, taking things as they come and like going out and seizing the moment and going on an adventure, and like this call to adventure that's about being young, but also understanding what came before it and not ignoring that.
And you know what's so interesting as well? Like Fern was using that spell in the beginning and hit that.
Yeah,
to hit
that's
that
what I
rock.
was saying.
I know. Yeah, and what's so crazy about that is like the guy who told her to do that was there when this spell was like killing everyone, and him and his team had to go up against that guy who made this spell and take him down. So he was literally there when this spell was like a complete mystery, and then he now is like tasking that as like, you need to be able to do this before you're like a basic mage, basically.
Yeah.
It's
I just love how mature this story is, you know? Like I love how mature it is. First of all, I can't help but feel afraid that they're going to fuck it up somehow by like
I'm
leaning
kind of
too much
worried
into the
for when this like,
fantasy thing.
because there's the guy with the red hair. I'm kind of concerned for when he comes in.
When we get into the plot, I almost just
like,
want them to just go around and learn shit together.
Yeah.
You know? Like experience life on this slice of life fantasy story. I'm way more interested in the episodic nature of it, and I hope that that if there is a main plot, it feeds into this theme. I think it will.
I hope so. I really hope so.
But so far, it's just like they're doing a really good job at weaving the themes in and making it powerful and poignant and not bullshit and not like, oh yeah, I guess, you know, whatever.
I also like that it's sad, but I feel like it's not, the show isn't trying to make it more sad than it is.
It's like Machia, where it's just like...
well, at the end of Machia was like so
It was,
sad.
but then at the very end of Machia, she gets on the cart, and then the guy who's also like part of her race is like, oh, well, time to meet the next person that's gonna die. And it's just, and then he snaps the reins, and then she just like, and then goes, and it's this moment of like, yeah, that all happened in like the blink of an eye, and it's just gonna keep happening. And this is just one story in like a huge tapestry of her life, and it was so powerful, and it's not lost on her. And I feel like this show is capturing that similar like, it's so big, but you gotta leave it behind.
Yeah, I guess what I was saying is, like, for me as, like, the audience, not necessarily for the characters in the show, like, she was really affected by Himmel's death, and, like, to us, it's, like, sad, but I feel like the show wasn't trying to, like, make us cry. Right. It doesn't feel like, you know, when these characters that she had a bond with are dying, I'm not, like, bawling my eyes out, and I don't feel like the show is expecting me to, because we didn't really spend that much time with them, and that was kind of the point, you know what I mean?
Yeah. All right, let's check out the final episode of this. Leave a like and subscribe. Reminder. Okay, episode 4. Let's go.
Oh.
言われた通り勉強しているね。偉いよフェルン、本物なし。これも出来の悪い偽物だ。どうして引き受けたのですか？人がいるみたいだったからね。ただの善意とは思えません。これは自分のためだ。
She was here before when it was really nice.
また長い滞在になりそうですね。
Can you use mending on those boats? Make a big boat? Sell the boat? Give money to the town? Damn. Ghost town. I wonder if it was like a vacation town back in the day.
Regular customer.
ありがとうございます。まだ寝てる。こんなに散らかして片付けたばっかりなのに。
Just throws books all over the floor.
朝でございます。起きてください。
Imagine being alive for that long and you're still not a morning person.
海岸の清掃に行きますよ。
This is the real reason why they stay so long in one place. She's just half asleep for most of the day. She looks like a little kid.
I know, now she's like definitely looks shorter. Like they mentioned last episode. Oh, you're finally grown taller than me. Okay, get it together. She needs just like little socks for her ears. They're like all red at the tips.
すごくだらしがない人なのでしょうか。毎朝フリーレン様のことを起こしてご飯食べさせて服着せ。これ私完全にお母さんですよね。でもできるよ。
Yeah, but you don't.
それだと昼まで寝ていますよね。まあ別に私はもうごめんって。勇者様ご一行とも多分ですか。世話をしてくれるないですよね。寝坊はしょっちゅうだったね。ではしなかったんですか。
She was traveling with all guys.
一度だけね。
Also, like, one of them was just drunk and hungover all the time. One of them was probably getting a statue made of himself. The other one, I don't know what he was doing.
気持ちはわかるけどさ。
それ普通にブチギレて。
Why is this taking you 3 months? You're going so slowly. I feel
Couldn't
like you
you
could
like
have
given that to the village?
I mean, maybe there's just too much.
あと3分の1
Also, how did it burn if they just pulled it out of the ocean?
Magic?
なんとかね。日の出を見る習慣
She missed it from sleeping in last time she was here.
海に日の光が反射して。フリーレン様は見なかったのですか。私が起きれると思う。それもそうですね。あまり時間もない。
Expecting treasure, it's all rotted.
Finally, making some actual progress here.
最初の時とは見違えました。
The waves are like so lively now.
姉さんにも参加されますな。歓迎いたしますぞ。
正気ですか。フリーレン様、登る前に起きるんです
I'll
よ。
just stay up
不
all
可能
night.
でございます。徹夜するから大丈夫だよ。正直興味はないよ。だから見て確かめるんだ。すみません。そうだね。
I think that makes perfect sense.
なぜ新年祭に来なかったんだ、フリーレン。あまり寝込んでしまったぞ。かわいそうに。
酒の飲みすぎでダウンしてるだけだぞ。
だからそれでいいじゃん。
僕たちはね、君にも楽しんでほしかったんだよ。
見るとは思えないけど。
いいや、楽しめるね。
どうして。
君はそういうやつだからだ。
This kind of feels like Violet Evergarden.
I was thinking that as well. Also, the way that she like carries around that case thing.
フリーレン様。
Damn.
確かに綺麗だけど。で見るものじゃないな。ヒンメルが私のこと分かってないな。フェルン、帰って二度寝。とても綺麗ですね。そうかな。ただの日の出だよ。でもフリーレン様。それはフェルンが笑っていたから。この日の出は見る。当たり前です。フリーレン様は一人じゃ起きられませんからね。
ご家族ですか。昔の話だ。俺の村が魔族に襲われてな。何をしている。祈っている。
We were Lutheran. Get the fuck out of here.
天国に私も実在するかどうかはどっちでもいいです。
ソウルがそれ言っていいのか。生臭坊主。
でもたとえ実在しなかったとしてもあるべきものだと。なぜだ。その方が都合がいいから。必死に生きてきた人の行き着く先が無であっていいはずがあり、だったら天国で贅沢三昧していると思った方ですか。
確かに都合がいい。祈るか。
おう。
来たよ。
30年ぶりとは思えん態度だ。
たった30年でしょ。
30 years later, he's still praying like he
アイ
did.
ゼン、何か手伝ってほしいこととかってある？
聞いたらしい
And then he ended up dead. I can't.
なんで知って？
文通をしていたからな。
顔に似合うね。
お前がそっけなさすぎるんだ。
で、
I like that they still wrote to each other. That's fun.
フォルボンチか。懐かしいね。
来たことあるのか。
I like he still wears his armor. This is part
His
of his
mustache
body.
is attached to it at this point.
さすがにそこまで長生きじゃないよ。
Prehistoric dinosaurs exist in this world? Prehistoric times.
Prehistoric could just mean like before,
Before, yeah.
history, so.
I know.
偽物だよ。わかった。まずは大きな木を探そうか。
Oh, like in the LP or in the ED. There's that big tree in the background.
たくさんあるぞ。いくらでも
Wait, well, is it just gonna be that
she-
tree that she ran into in like episode 1 of like, oh yeah, this tree again.
なるべく効率的に探しましょう。
She's like, oh, this is gonna be like the flowers again.
お前は人の時間を気にするようなやつじゃなかった。
フェルン、怒ると怖いね。
そう、気をつけよう。
Cute. Damn,
Wow.
the grapes. Whoa! Dwarves are no joke. Oh, I love that.
フリーレン様、西の方に遺跡を飲み込んだ大樹がありました。こちらです。わかった。
大魔法使いフランメの式には死者と会話したという記録が残っているとされている。
おとぎ話だよ。会いたいとは思っていない。
どんな魔法もおとぎ話だった。それにヒンメルのことを知りたいんだろう。あ、ハイターと相談した。お前はきっと後悔しているだろうから助けしたかったんだ。
Looks like a pretty magical tree to me.
A barrier.
But would such a powerful mage leave such an obvious clue?
私は先生の手のひらの上か。頼りない留守番だね。
そうでもねえさ。
Oh,
Oh.
こいつが成長すれば
her master was a human
だろうがこの場所
with the same earrings.
頃には先生死んでるでしょ。
だがお前は違う。大きな過ちを犯し、人を知りたいと考えるようになる。
かまってちゃん。
ちげえよ。その時はここに帰ってんだ。手助けしてやる。この大魔法使い。フランメ
Her master was flamme. The music.
Music.
The music, man.
フランメの手でしょう
Wow,
か。
this place is so cool.
本物だよ。なぜわかる
Oh,
の？
that's how she always knew that stuff was
フ
fake.
ランメの一番でした。
本当に原始時代から生きている。
So that was 1,000 years ago?
会話についての記述はあるか。
ねえにそのページが開かれている。1000年も前から私がここに来ることが分かっていたのか。相変わらず嫌味なやつだ。
はるか北の果て。この世界の人々が天国と呼ぶ場所。魂の眠る地。オレオールにたどり
That was the
着い
first line in the first
そ
episode.
こは多くの魂が集まる場所で、私はかつての会話した。この世紀の発見は、魂の
研究を飛躍的に進歩させるだろう。さあね。いい
Interesting.
加減な人だったから。
天国はある。都合がいいだろう。
そうだね。たまには信じて
Just like what Heiter said. It's more convenient if it
具体的
does.
にはどのちょっと待ってね。
I don't know, she was really vague.
北部エンデ。エンデって
End. Past the end.
今は魔王城がある場所だ。なんでそんなところに
Past the end is heaven. That's kind of funny. I wonder what's actually there.
I know.
なものだ。
されてる。
Just, how about get a new outfit or something? Get something cold, something warm.
They literally have to go through hell to get to heaven.
ある縁では大陸の最北端だからな。あの場所ではいろいろあった。
いろいろ。
We had a fifth member. He didn't make it out.
なんだか気まずい。
Now that she's asleep, it's all awkward.
フリーレン様。フリーレン様。あ、ダメか。
なあ、フェロン。そいつはいい師匠か。
よくわかりません。ただひた求めて旅をして振り回されてばかりです。ただ、することには興味があるようですが。
Look at this pose on that statue.
What was it? I didn't
He was
see.
like doing the like where he was like sitting down.
アイゼン本当についてこないの？
ああ、前にも言っただろう。足で
You were running on water pretty well.
そっか。
エンデまでの道のりは覚えてい
You've
る
been。saying you're getting old for like the last 50 years.
を抜けて北側諸国の関所だね。
すまんな。長い旅路になる。俺たちは10年かかった。
Shit.
ヒンメル様たちが魔王城を目指した道のりと同じなんですね。
Oh my god.
そうだね。たった10年の冒険だよ。
Well, I guess now the real show starts. I can see why they did the 4-episode premiere. Shit.
Oh, it's like the tree.
And her braid, yeah. It's all overgrown with the tree, with the big tree. I like all the moons, like showing the passage of time. It's like all these moons fold over. Wow. Big episode. Got to hang out with Eisen. Oh, it's crazy how much is packed into these episodes.
I know.
It's always
I
it's
think
always a
that's the same
double.
thing. Yeah, I know.
It's always a double. They put so much into these. All the stuff clearing the way and everything. Whole lesson there that like, if I'm understanding it right, it's that Himmel was sad that she didn't go because, you know, it's the simple thing is it's nice to enjoy things together, but it's also like you can't really see the sunrise if you're seeing it alone. You see it in other people's eyes. You see it when you're hanging out with somebody.
She's like,
when
oh,
you're
I've
showing
seen
it
the
to somebody.
sunrise a million times, so what's the difference? It's like, well, the difference is she's here watching with her Fern, and it's a special day, and it's the new year, and like that's what makes the sunset or the sunrise extra special.
Beautiful, yeah. Yeah, you think it's just, oh, it's the big occasion, but no, it's what makes the occasion. It wouldn't be an occasion if you were alone. That's the point. So that's why he was kind of upset when she didn't go with them. And then I love the whole like development of Eisen and Heiter's relationship. How to this day they were still pen pals until he died, and you know, he still prays over their grave the same way that he did in their tradition because he kind of gave him hope. It seems like Eisen he's a ground dwelling dwarf. He doesn't see the sun. You can think of it, he doesn't see the sun very often, meaning he's always kind of depressed. He doesn't see it's difficult for him to find hope, and that's kind of what Heiter gave him and what Heiter taught him, and he might, I think he just doesn't have it in him to do another journey because he just is trying to enjoy life and make peace with himself and make peace with his journey.
And it also, like, obviously they lived for a long time as well, so for her, when she was like, well, you understand what I'm talking about, right? And he's kind of like, yeah, but, like, not
like that. I mean, clearly I don't feel the same way as you, you know? He's sort of, he toys with it a bit more than she does, obviously, and he's clearly struggled with it. In that moment, he was acting the way that you would expect a party member to act in that time, where it's like, I don't want to watch you all die and be alone. You know, that makes me sad. Frieren's blessed in the fact it's a blessing and a curse both ways. That like he was dreading the fact that he would one day be alone without them. But he also gets to live longer.
Yeah.
She is blessed that she naturally doesn't care, but it's also a curse that she doesn't care. Because, you know, for the reasons we've discussed the last 4 episodes.
Yeah. I don't know what I'm thinking with this whole, like, oh, we're gonna, like, go and, like, find heaven and, like, talk to him. I don't really know how I feel about that. Because I'm just interested to see how it's gonna, like, I guess because a lot of the theme of the show is, like, it's like after something's dead, then it's kind of dead.
Yeah.
But it's still alive, like, within you, but then it's like, no, it's actually, like, still alive, like, in a place.
I think that it's set up. I think that it's set up for, it's not going to look like this. It's not going to be heaven. It's going to be in line with that realization. With the whole themes of accepting mortality, understanding it, and, you know, living with that, enjoying the moment, enjoying your life. And that's what it's going to be wrapped up in some way to that. I don't think they're actually going to be able to talk to the dead, or if they do, it won't be, it might be a negative thing. Like, you know, they're expecting, they're doing they have a classic shonen setup where they need to pass through hell, the Demon King's castle, the demon lands, 10-year journey in order to, at the other end of it, get to heaven. And,
well, it's also she's going on the same journey that they went on before, so she's like directly retracing the steps, which would help her to get to know him better based on like the memories that are brought about by this journey. Like how whenever she goes to places,
exactly,
she thinks about them. I guess I'm still really interested in. I'm really liking the show so far. I'm just I'm interested and like a little bit nervous about this.
Why?
I don't know. I just.
You don't want a plot. I think you don't want an overarching plot structure. I think you want it to just continue how it was.
I guess.
But what really is happening is that was all setting up the themes that are going to be explored, and now what is the main story. And I think it's we're still going to get those episodic things. I think the next episode is going to be a similar thing along their journey. But I think they're going to do at the very end of it sort of wrap everything up, and I don't think it's going to conflict with what they've been setting up so far, because it's the same thing that they've been discussing up to this point. It's just that I think it's an interesting thing for the show to discuss because it's been so, everything's felt so final, and we've seen like the bones of people who've lived before, and all their, you know, they're the footprints that they've left behind and all the memories that they left behind, and have seen how things have changed and rotted, but still new things are growing, or their memory lives on, and that's nice. And maybe we'll see a darker side of that along the way, but I think at the end of it will reaffirm that whole idea. And I don't think I mean, here's the thing, Flamme probably left all of this, in fact, almost certainly left all of this for her. To find. She's 1,000 years old. She knew that she'd come back here eventually. I think that she designed all of this for her, not to advance soul magic. I think that she, like, again, it'll be like an echo of what Heiter was doing, of she did the same thing of baiting her with like learning about this magic by forcing her to undergo personal change and accept life.
I also think that, you know, if she gets to the end, whether or not this is real, I guess I'm saying even if it was, I feel like I would, after this journey, I feel like I would want her to realize that she actually knew him better than she thought, and she doesn't need to actually talk to him to feel like she knows him better. I
think that that's what it is. I think that, like, once you go through the journey, you realize, like, oh, the real soul magic, or the real heaven was the friends we made along the way. It's literally going to be that. And Flamme knows that. Flamme is, like, painting this picture, or, like, saying the right words to make Frieren or whoever reads this paint the picture of heaven, this place where the souls are. Talk to all the people that you knew. And yeah, she must have planned all of this out, and that's the real secret, which is a really surprisingly, not even surprisingly, really basic storytelling tactic, and we'll see how basic that is. Basic meaning not bad. Clearly there's an awareness to using this format, like we talked about with the whole modern Japanese JRPG fantasy aesthetic. It's using that with an awareness of telling the story they want to tell. And I think that, you know, setting up, you know, that just the idea of, between us and heaven is the Demon King's castle, and the true heaven are the friends we made along the way, or the memories we made along the way. That's like literally a cliche that is a meme. That is literally a meme, but it's not, and I think it knows that, and I think it's in a way telling us that explicitly, that this is like if you pay attention to the way that the story is forming over the last 4 episodes, if you apply all of this ideology to this greater plot, I think it'll turn out the same way, just in a lot more impactful and long-term way. And I think at the end of that, she will, that'll be the soul magic, is her soul will like come alive in a way. She will realize, she will become in touch with the people, with Himmel and the spirits of the people that she left behind, because her soul will be awakened. That's the real magic, is love. And that's what she'll understand at the very end. Maybe there will be some kind of magical thing like what we're seeing here, but the real story will be what happens inside of her. Yeah. And yeah. And I don't know. I think that I think it fits perfectly, and I think that I think it'll be great. I think it'll be really good. Well, it also depends on how long the manga is, because I don't know if they're gonna make it any significant distance
in this season, and if it'll get a second season or anything.
Yeah, or if it does, will it get a 5th season to
or will it be a Promise Neverland season 2 style?
Will I be literally going on 40 by the time that we see all of this? Will I be going on a 10-year journey? Is that what it's preparing me for? We're literally Fern, and we're like, 10 years, I guess let's get going. Time's a wasting. I think it'll be literally that, which is just a greater problem that we've talked about before, of just like fucking source material, and anime's relationship to source material is the most toxic shit ever, because nobody can make a full story anymore. There's not really many anime original stories. Everything is based on timing the releases of the manga with the production of the anime, 2-year gaps, you know, people who were animators on the first season, which was really good, get promoted to like unit director, and then the people that come after who are animating have a completely different look and give a different feel to the story. And then those people all get promoted, and now it's a completely new set of people 7 years later, because people grow old and get promoted and die, and then it's a new production staff, and then it's a new studio, and then things change, and then now it's not even the same show anymore. And the manga took a completely different path because the author took a different stage in his life, and now it's like, I don't know, I feel like Fern, I don't know how many more of these things I can go on. It's just kind of exhausting, and I hope that the industry finds a way out of this trap, because it's making for a lot of unfinished or drawn out, I guess the thing is, it's not homogenous stories, even if they do come to a close, which is rare. So those are my pessimistic thoughts on this optimistic story. Yeah. Anything else you want to say?
I think that's it. I'm excited to see where it
Great
goes.
show.
I really like it. I've really enjoyed it, and I'm glad we watched it.
Leave a like and subscribe. We'll see you guys next week for episode 5. I'm Carson.
I'm Lindsay.
Bye-bye.